So I'm the last of the Mohegans. Well, to be more accurate, I'm the last of the Schiffs. That was my family name. I was very sad when my father died and then later my mom, but I had expected it. What I wasn't prepared for was my brother's death. 2 weeks after our mother's funeral, he's on the phone with me. Hey, you're not going to like this. What? Turns out I've been to the doctor. I have lung cancer and it's already spread to my bones and my liver. I knew this was one bullet we weren't going to dodge. So for the next year, I spent as much time as I could visiting him in Florida. He came up here to Massachusetts. And through it all, he kept his sense of humor. Why, 4 days before he died, he and a friend were watching their beloved Red Sox, and they were in a slump. And he turns to his friend and he says, yeah, they should move to the Philippines and rename themselves the Manila Folders. That was him. Always a joke, always a prank. He had shtick. So I was planning to go down and visit him again when my sister-in-law called. She said, change your flight, get down now. Within 30 hours, I was there. I walked into his room to say hello. I took one look, and I said, I'm not leaving with a brother that's still alive. That night, he had his first overnight hospice nurse. He didn't even last the shift. 4 in the morning, the nurse wakes me up, along with my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephew. We file into his room. We look at each other. Not knowing what to say, the nurse says, the hearing is the last thing to go. It's okay, talk to him. So out of nowhere came the stories. Remember when? And there was one prank after another, one funny thing. And I discovered in that gray dawn hour a new use for storytelling, to usher a soul into the other world, or as we say in Yiddish, the Yana Welt. So I changed my flight. I come home, getting ready for his funeral up here, and I'm thinking, what am I going to say at the funeral? And I'm thinking about all the stories around the bed. And I thought of the one that I hadn't told. And this was the one I told at his funeral. When I was 9 years old, I looked up to Arthur because he was 3 years older than me, and I thought he knew everything. Well, one day I'm doing my geography homework, which was to trace the map of Wyoming. He looks at the paper and says, that's a waste of time because Wyoming doesn't exist. Huh? He says, I've never been there. You've never been there. Our parents have never been there. In fact, nobody we know has ever been there. I'm ready to go do battle with my teacher in the morning, who assured me that she spent time on her cousin's ranch in Wyoming. So 10 years later, I'm in college. Arthur is in the Air Force out in Denver. He goes to a rodeo in Cheyenne. I get a postcard from Cheyenne, Wyoming. 2 words, it exists. Now, he's died, and I am trying to figure out if the other world exists, if there is an afterlife. Now, I've never been there. You've never been there. Nobody we know has ever been there and come back. But I am hoping if the Yana world exists, I get a postcard. There's a gift shop up there. There must be, with a rack of postcards. And all it's got to have is 2 words. It exists.